Hi guys, it's Maddie. So, I sat here for a minute debating what video to make, because I wanted to make a video and I have a few videos that I want to make in mind. I have quite a lot of ideas. One of them being, oh by the way, disclaimer, I haven't been crying and my nose is all messed up and my eyes are all messed up because of allergies. So, don't be alarmed, I haven't been crying or anything. I know my voice sounds scratchy and my nose is clogged and my eyes look terrible. It's because of allergies, so just a little warning. Also, it's the 3rd of October 2023, a Tuesday, just in case you're wondering. Okay, now that that's out the way, let's get on with what I was saying. But I wanted to make this video because it's been in my head all day about how my friend asked me, how did they know you had fibromyalgia? And it wasn't anything else. Like, is there a specific test? Like, what did they do? So I'm gonna run through the little story, I guess. I mean, like I said, there's a video with way more detail that I recommend watching. It's a good video. And it's when it was the fresh new diagnosis in my head. But I've learned a lot more about fibromyalgia since then. I got, basically diagnosed with fibromyalgia this year. Said my symptoms were in keeping with fibromyalgia, which basically is a doctor's way of saying, you probably have this, but I don't want to put a label on it, just in case I'm wrong. That's basically what that was, basically. So, hi guys, it's Maddie. So today I was sat here thinking, what video do I want to make now, because I want to make videos and I'm excited to make videos, and I was deciding, okay, am I going to make a Madalada Munden video or am I going to make a Madalada video? But I decided on making the Madalada video because I've had this idea in my head all day, because my friend, one of my close friends, asked me, how did my doctor, the rheumatologist, they didn't say rheumatologist, but they said, the wording they used was, how did they know you had fibromyalgia? So basically, I know that I did that whole video saying I have cerebral palsy and fibromyalgia. I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. The title was, I have fibromyalgia and cerebral palsy. I will leave that link below because it has more detail in it. It will have way more details of everything, and I recommend watching that if you want to know everything, basically, all the details. So, without telling like every single detail, because if you want to know every single detail, click the video below. And also the arthritis test video will have a lot of the leading up to the diagnosis. I'll also link that below if you want all the details. Plug. But yeah. Anyways, so, long story short, thought I had arthritis. I didn't have arthritis. Spoiler alert. But my CRP levels were higher, so that's an inflammation marker that your liver makes this protein called CRP when you have some high inflammation. I can't remember what number my CRP was at back then, but it was high enough for them to go see a rheumatologist in case you have rheumatoid arthritis based on all your symptoms. Sorry, my septum piercing is trying to escape my nose. Anyways, but it makes sense that I have fibromyalgia because, number one, genetic component, my nan has fibromyalgia, and she's had fibromyalgia for a long time. So that's one thing. And I didn't know much about fibromyalgia because even though my nan had it, back then I just knew that my nan had some long worded thing. It was really bad. Like, I always forgot the name. I just knew that she had like a pain condition where like everything hurt, basically her whole body hurt, but I didn't know. She'd tell me the name, but I'd always forget it. It was so bad of me to forget it. But yeah, I used to think it was arthritis she had, and my nan does have arthritis, but she also has fibromyalgia, and I used to remember the arthritis part, but I would never remember the fibromyalgia part. and now I've got fibromyalgia myself, so serves me right, I guess. But no, in all seriousness, I could just never remember, because it is quite a long worded name, to be fair, and I could just never remember the name, but now I definitely do. Now, fibromyalgia is basically where my nervous system is all out of whack and I don't process pain properly. So I basically process pain higher than I should, and I get pain when I shouldn't, and my pain processing is all out of whack, basically. Pain that shouldn't be as painful is painful, like more painful, so things that shouldn't even be painful will be painful. Like, for example, someone giving me like a flick or something. I didn't actually flick myself, but say for example someone was to poke me and I could be like, ow, what the and they'd be like, what, I didn't even touch you that hard, but like, because my brain processed the signal higher than it should do, so it's more painful for me. There's a name for it, I will put it on the screen for the pain processing stuff. I think it's allodonia and hyperallergia off the top of my head, because I was doing my own little research again last night, because I like to research up my conditions, because I like research and I like to know about myself and my body. Yeah. A good way to describe it, I was thinking about, is like, I'm pretty sure the rheumatologist said this to me, because I got it from somewhere and I can't remember where from. I think it was the rheumatologist, but someone said to me that it's like, I like analogies. Like, for example, with my cerebral palsy, the doctor said to me at 17, he said to me, it's the equivalent of carrying, like, my effort levels are the equivalent of carrying 3 shopping bags, instead of, like, if I'm carrying 1, but it's the equivalent to my body of carrying 3, right? And I like analogies like that. And I was thinking about it, and the doctor said it to me, like, with fibromyalgia, it's like watching the TV, but on a higher saturation. So, trying to watch TV, but the saturation's too high. That's kind of how that was worded to me, and I like analogies like that. Funny enough, something I have noticed since being diagnosed with fibromyalgia is my temperature regulation is awful, and I asked my nan if her temperature regulation was also bad, and my nan said yes. Me and my nan have a lot of similar symptoms. We both can't regulate our temperature very well. Both have widespread pain. Let me think. Yeah, temperature regulation. I checked with my nan. I said to her, did you know that's a fibro symptom, not being able to regulate your temperature? And we both have that. Me and my nan have a lot of similar symptoms. But, yeah, I mean, the longer I have this diagnosis, the more I will learn about it. And something I have learned is that it's very debated on the internet. Like, people will be like, that's not a real thing. Some people think that fibromyalgia is just autistic burnout. Some people think that fibromyalgia is just the doctors throwing a label because they don't know what's wrong. In my understanding of it, fibromyalgia is kind of like cerebral palsy in the way it's an umbrella term for a bunch of issues. Like cerebral palsy, common misconception. This video is about fibromyalgia, but common misconception, cerebral palsy is sometimes thought to be one thing. It's not. It's an umbrella term for a bunch of neurological conditions caused by brain damage before, during, or after the birth of an individual. So cerebral palsy is not one thing, but it is often described as one thing, but it's not. It's an umbrella term for a bunch of issues caused by brain damage before, during, or after birth. And fibromyalgia is the exact same. It's an umbrella term for a bunch of nervous system and processing issues to do with pain, basically, and like processing issues. Like my phone brightness is always down because I don't respond well to light. One of the worst ways to wake me up, and I hate when people do this to me, is when they turn on the light to wake you up. Don't ever do that to me. Don't ever do that to me. That is the worst way to wake me up. I will be in the biggest mood with you if you wake me up by turning on the light and not for a good reason. Unless it's an emergency. If you turn on that light to wake me up, I will be in the biggest mood with you. Because it gives me a burning headache. It triggers my burning headaches and it gives me a massive headache. And it makes me feel like crap. That is the worst way to wake me up because it's just too much light at once. If you take me from like a dark room to like sudden light, no. If I'm asleep and then you wake me up with light, I will literally be so angry at you because it literally triggers my burning headaches and it makes me feel like crap. It literally gives me an instantaneous headache. Like, I will develop a headache and it will suck and I will be mad at you, basically. I'm saying this as if the audience is ever going to wake me up. Yeah, if the chance you're going to wake me up. But I'm just saying it's the worst way for me to be woken up. No. Just no. So, after all of that, if you want to know all the details, like I said, there's videos anyways, they thought I had arthritis, so they sent me to a rheumatologist, and then the rheumatologist did an examination of me, felt my body, and did an ultrasound of my hands and my wrists, and there was no cartilage damage, so it couldn't have been rheumatoid arthritis, because that's where the immune system, I'm pretty sure, or inflammation and all that attacks the joints, I'm pretty sure. I'll put a definition of rheumatoid arthritis somewhere here. But, yeah, I didn't have that. So then, obviously, the doctor started asking me questions. I can't remember them all in order, but he was asking stuff like, am I sensitive to light? Am I neurodivergent? And I said I'm on the ADHD waiting list. And then there was questions like, how would you describe your pain? And I would say, well, I get these burning pains, which is a symptom of fibromyalgia, and burning headaches and burning pains throughout my body. And then, bearing in mind, the rheumatologist, sorry, my septum is trying to escape. The rheumatologist already knew I had cerebral palsy. Before all of this, had my background information, asked me a bunch of things. Again, if you want to know all the details, those videos. But, asked me all that, so they knew my background, so they couldn't blame any. They knew that I already had chronic pain from cerebral palsy, but I had additional pain, and they put that down to fibromyalgia, especially with the burning sensations. But yeah, the reason they knew I had fibromyalgia was because I basically have all the symptoms of fibromyalgia, like, most of them that I've read, I have. And also the genetic component, and also they ruled out any physical reasoning besides my cerebral palsy, obviously, they put into consideration. So I have, most in keeping, my symptoms are with fibromyalgia. So that's how they knew. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this little fibromyalgia catch-up, I guess. Been trying to learn a lot more about fibromyalgia, and also having a new diagnosis. I mean, it's my newer one, you know. It's hard to remember sometimes, like when I went down A&E recently, or the GP, I forgot to mention I had fibromyalgia, but I mentioned I had cerebral palsy because I've had cerebral palsy since before I was born, so it's just second nature to say, oh, and I have cerebral palsy, but it isn't second nature to say I have fibromyalgia, but I guess that will come in time, you know. Also, fibromyalgia has, like, a lot of, what's the word? negativity around it. Like, some people think it's not a real thing, some people think it's different things, some people just don't have very good opinions of fibromyalgia. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and follow at Madalada Munden -2 on Instagram. And thank you for watching, and have a lovely day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye guys. Oh, another fact I want to throw in there: fibromyalgia can be shortened to fibro or FMS, which I found out recently, which stands for fibromyalgia I can't speak. Fibromyalgia syndrome, FMS. Now this video won't end.